Hey gang, we are on another intangible quest on the IQ channel here. I got a special guest today, Mel Doerr. Mel is a medium and psychic, actually quite renowned. We've got Britton back here.
Hey.
Britton. But Mel, we're like really, we couldn't get the camera rolling. We're like talking about all sorts of stuff. Mel is a really gifted psychic. We are going to a location with him. We haven't really talked much about it. We're going to go sight unseen. Of course, we've been there. But Mel, tell us a little bit. I mean, I was bragging. We were on a live stream. I don't know if you watched, but I was bragging about you, how you, the crime, Mel works with the police. He's very understated. When we first met, he was like, I was saying, well, here's what I want to do. And of course, other psychics are hanging up on me. And Mel's like, just one thing, I got nothing to prove. And I was like, I love that. Like, you're the real deal. So, but it's not only my gut and Britton's gut, but Mel really does come to us with a unbelievable history and following. He's the real deal. But tell us just quickly a little bit about what you've been doing.
Well, the forensics part, it's hard for me to talk about myself, but the forensics part, Peter Herkos was my mentor, and I met Peter. Peter was the psychic that worked on the Boston Strangler case and the Sharon Tate murders. And he was the book, the movie The Dead Zone. Part of that was based on Peter's life, right? Because Stephen King met Peter Herkos. So Peter was painting in the Hague or the Hague, however you say it in the Netherlands, and the scaffolding fell. He hit his head. When he woke up, he was supposedly psychic. I just said he had the gift all along. But anyway, he's the one that got me started on murder cases and forensics. And you know, word of mouth spread, and so I never called. If there was a missing person or a murder case that was unsolved, I never called the family. I don't do that. But if they contacted me, then I would work with them under the stipulation that if they told the police and the police came in, then I could have nothing to do with the family. So that word spread, and I got a lot of calls from police departments. We worked on the Brown's chicken murders here. Right,
you mentioned that. You were, and this is known that Mel contributed to that effort. So, and one more question for you. When did you discover your gift? Well,
I always knew I had it. I didn't know what to call it. I was 12 when I learned the word psychic, but I remember being in the first grade and I came home, and my grandfather, my dad's side, he was from Germany. He was in his 90s, but I knew he'd been sick, but I said to my mom, I said, Grandpa died today. And she was crying, and she said, how did you know that? And I said, I just knew. So it's just something I could always do. My father was very talented. He could find water with a stick. We call it witching water. But
witching water. Yeah. So what we're doing, gang, is we are going to a location. I'm going to tell Mel, it's Fort Atkinson, Wisconsin. I think the lake is Lake Koshkagong.
Lake Koshkonong.
Koshkonong. Our walking encyclopedia of Britain. Anyway, I'm gonna get the car going here. We've got about a 2-hour drive up there. We're gonna bring Mel. We are going to go to the murder scene. It happened about 2 years ago of an episode, a husband and wife that were killed by her brother. And we're going to be going up there to where it happened. Now, if you want to see that episode first to hear the whole story, I'll put the link up right there. But it was Nedra Lemke, Jim Lemke. They were going to work on their inherited house. Of course, there was a conflict with Kevin Anderson, her maiden name Anderson. And he was disgruntled that she got the inheritance after dad died, the house, the farm, and he was, I guess, in there burglarizing, and when they came, he sniped them from the bedroom window. And then he actually in the car was the brother, who was, he can't talk, I think he was handicapped. Anyway, they were killed, they were left, and then the sheriff's police came, a deputy came, and they had a shootout, and apparently witnesses, Britton, I think you said, witnesses saw that Kevin Anderson run. He ran out the back and then set the house on fire. The whole place burned down, and that guy's gone. Now, this has been featured. We're going to try and help John Walsh here. John, if you're watching, us small-time potatoes, but we're gonna see if Mel comes up with anything, because this guy is still on the run. So we'll see you up there. All right, gang, we just pulled over. We're about a mile away. We were on a 2-hour drive. It's pretty cool. Mel's like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to be front loaded. Mel does not know what we're doing. Generally, there was you know, what I said about the murders when we were doing the intro at his office where we were leaving. So we are literally launching from here down the highway to the scene. And when we were about 5 miles away, Mel already started feeling stuff. I said, hold it in, right? I was like, wait, don't, let me get the cameras going. So you are, and basically I'm gonna sit back and just film. So if you have any questions, let me know. So you're on.
Well, I was feeling a little anxious. I always get a little anxious. It's just, you know, when I'm coming up on a scene, so I kind of figured we were close. But I was thinking that this Kevin, psychically, everything's psychic now, that obviously there's a discernible mental illness here, bipolar. I'm picking up paranoia on his part. That maybe they were out to get him or out to take from him. And I picked up, you know, there was another sibling other than the one that was in the vehicle. And I was just curious if there was bad blood between those siblings and him. So I'm already starting to hook into the personalities involved here.
Okay, we are going to round the corner to the left here.
And I'll describe some of the things I'm feeling in my body. My heart is racing a little bit right now. It has nothing to do with the green tea I drank this morning. And if I take a sip, you all, please, I know it's not professional, but
take your last sip, buddy, because we are here on the left.
That's why my heart is pounding. Wow. Oh, I'm getting cold chills all up and down.
All right. Well, let's pull the car over right over here and let's get out and let's go. All right, we are here, sir. So this is the location.
Right here?
Of where the house was you're standing.
So I'm standing right here.
Well, I would say let's walk over here, right there.
Because I'm getting really cold chills right now.
Okay.
And there's something here. Where were they found?
I think they were.
Right
yeah. You know what? It's funny. They were found in the car. I think the driveway was more over there. And I think they were found in their car, or next to the car in the driveway. So as I recall, you come in this way where we came in, and then there was another little driveway. I think it was down here, but it was somewhere in here, their bodies.
Right here.
Yeah, I
right
think.
Here.
You feel it?
There's a body. Like that.
Okay.
The other one I can't pick up on. I can see them trying to get in. I see broken glass.
Broken glass.
And then they're calling somebody. I don't know who that is. I don't know if they're calling the police or what's going on. And then there's a gunshot. The person here goes down. There's another gunshot. She died first. He was second. I'm getting really anxious now. This whole thing he had planned.
Okay.
It just wasn't, they came here one day. It feels like there was a different lock. I don't know if he changed the locks. They came maybe to do something, fix something, or take care of the property. They tried to get in, they can't. They see broken glass. They call the police. He's alive. He went that way.
He went that way.
Trees over there.
That is true. So who's he? I mean, we know.
The perpetrator.
Yeah, the perpetrator.
Okay, Kevin. But I'm thinking, this is all psychic when I'm saying thinking. I'm thinking they found some paperwork in the ashes or something like that. Something about a will or a deed. And like you said, he must have been, I don't know if he was like to inherit or if he was like to be the executor or something of a deed, and he was mad because he didn't get to do that and she took over or something. There's a lot of bad blood about it.
Okay.
He planned this. You know, I'm asking Spirit, where is he? And it's coming back, he's right under everybody's noses.
Really?
So he's not in the wilderness somewhere or anything like that.
So where is he now?
That's what I'm, okay.
Interesting.
Did he have a beard?
I think he had like a goatee.
It looks like he let it grow, and now it looks like, I see him as clean shaven. I see like slightly receded hair.
Okay.
I don't think he went west. I see, well, he might have gone north for a bit. Which way's north? I don't even know.
That way.
Okay, he might have gone north for a while.
North would be that way.
He ran that way, but then north. But right now, I see him in a southern state.
Oh, a southern state. Correct. So when you say seeing him,
this was when he was escaping.
Okay. He was going north.
Correct.
But then he swung around and he went south.
Correct. But
which would be the, okay.
Since the murders happened, my feeling is he's been in at least 3 different states.
3 different states. And I'm by the way, I'm repeating, guys, because there's wind, and if you can't hear Mel.
Now he's in the south. I see like, it's almost like he was where there's palms, sand, sun. I'd like to go to the cemetery.
Okay.
Because I have a feeling, I don't know if he left the state right away. And I'm getting the impression, and I'm getting cold chills up and down, that he actually visited that cemetery after they were buried there.
Really?
That's right. I've got cold chills up and down.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Oh my gosh, this is great. All right, we're gonna hit the cemetery. It's only a 2 or 3 miles.
He's gonna contact a family member. I don't know if there's 2 siblings left. And he's gonna talk to some people. And at some point, they will come forward. And he is going to be arrested. He's a person of interest, and I see an indictment and a conviction there. So he will be caught.
How long? Long or not long?
My timing is like on the Browns case. We thought it was 10 years. Here I'm seeing the number 2. So it could be like 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years.
From now.
But within a couple years, he's going to be in custody.
Okay. All right, well, let's go to, is there anything else you want to add here before we go to the cemetery? Anything that jumps out?
Was there a shootout? I felt gunfire back and forth.
There was a shootout. The deputy, from what I understand, came and...
I wonder where his car was. I wonder if it was over here.
You know, I think it was where my truck is.
Okay.
I believe, so you are right. And I think that they were... Well, he was up in the bedroom up there, shooting down like sniper, and they exchanged fire, this deputy and him, and that's when the deputy called for reinforcements. SWAT came. They saw smoke, and you said, Britton, that there was some.
But he torched that house because he figured he was paranoid ideation. I think he's bipolar or something. Like they were out to get him or wanted to take what was his. he'd planned the whole thing. Just because he might be bipolar doesn't mean he's not smart. He's very smart. He's very conniving. But he torched the house. Part of that was like, there's nothing. There's not going to be anything left. The other part, I think, was to create a diversion.
Well, yeah.
So he could take off.
Yeah, because he took off. Britton, you said that there were witnesses that you remember that said they saw him run off up there into the woods, and there's a big section of woods up there.
The 40s came and locked down the entire area for a 72-hour time period. Gave them enough time for the, for the ruins, for the fire to go out. And then with a series of cadaver dogs, they went up and down through the property, through all the remnants here. There were no traces of him. They were under shelter because they didn't know whether he was alive, but they actually, with drone, came over and saw the fallen victims.
Yeah.
After all was said and done, they came through with the cadaver dogs after a thorough search. It was something like within 2 square miles. They pretty much canvassed the entire area. They don't turn up his remains.
He took off that way and then went north. How far I don't know.
Okay.
But I'm almost thinking, I'm thinking about a vehicle. And it's like a maroonish in color. So I see him getting in that vehicle. So I've been thinking he might have had it parked up there or somebody picked him up, but I see him in that vehicle. They went further north.
Okay.
Then he went on his own, but he's been in 2 or 3 different states. But right now, it's funny when I do a case like this because people move around. But right now, I see him where there's palms, sand, sun. Could be Florida, but
He's somewhere warm.
Correct.
All right. Let's go to the cemetery and pick it up there, because you said as just before we turned the cameras on, you were like, "Are we going to go to the cemetery?" Because sometimes you do get some.
I can get things from there, I think.
All right. We'll see you there. Let's go. All right, so we are pulling into the cemetery here in Fort Atkinson. We visited this place before, and you can see this is the Union Cemetery. Mel knows right where he's going. Right to it, look at that.
He has visited here after they were buried. I've got cold chills. I felt his presence at the house with that spot I was standing on. You said that's where he was shooting from. I feel that his presence has been right here. And I'm just trying to figure out why he would have came here. Well, in his paranoid sort of thinking, after he did it, he felt a little bit of remorse. For some reason he had to come here. But then the remorse was taken over by him feeling justified in their killing, because he planned to kill them. It wasn't like he was enraged when she came to the door. He had planned this. And there's somebody that was helping him. Maybe not in the murders, but sheltering him. Somebody who helped him to get away. And I kept seeing that winish looking car, maybe winish color interior. It looks like he hung around the area for a while, maybe for about a month or 2. Then maybe what I'm feeling is he was in 3 different states but taking a road trip. But right now I'm seeing him in a warmer climate where there's palms, sand, sun, possibly Florida. But he's going to be contacting, like it could be a family member or a wife or somebody, and I see somebody calling the police with a tip and his whereabouts. And as I said, I see him, arrested and incarcerated and tried for these murders. I won't tell the outcome of the trial, but he was here. I feel his energy.
Okay.
It's like, whoa.
Well, great. I think we've got a lot out of this. Is there anything else that...
I'm here for her. I'm getting this impact in the chest. So I'm thinking that she must have been shot maybe in the chest, because I'm feeling this impact to the chest. She was dead before she even hit the ground, and him too. You know, it's. I feel anger over some kind of legal papers. I don't know if it's inheritance or like a will or something.
Well, the father...
Who was running the will? Who was going to be in charge of the will? And
the
he's
father
angry.
the father died and left the house, I think, to her, and that had to infuriate this guy, this son.
But there's some kind of
Kevin
legal
Anderson.
papers they found there too.
Something else?
Yeah, it's about a will. He was mad about who's going to be in charge of the will. So, anyway.
All right. Well, rest in peace. Rest in peace, Jim and Nedra.
But his energy was here, I'm telling you. He
So
came
he
here
came.
after they buried here.
He came back and visited.
I don't even know if this bench was here at that point.
So he came soon after.
Pardon?
He came soon after they were buried, you're saying?
Correct. This wasn't even here.
Okay. Wow.
And he was standing right about here. Because it's the same energy when I'm standing here is the same energy I got where that house had been.
Okay.
And that was his energy I was hooked into.
All right. Well, here's what we're going to do. If anything else comes up, you think of anything else, we might have a part, this will be part 2, maybe we'll have a part 3, more information. Hopefully the police department, this is Jefferson County, I think it was Garcia was the man in charge, lieutenant, whatever. If you guys have any information or clues, call the Jefferson County Sheriff here. They're taking tips, I'm sure. I haven't heard any updates on what's going on. We hope this helps. That's all we're trying to do. And rest in peace, Lemkes. And we're going to close it out here, and there might be another part to this.
I know this is going to sound crazy, but my feeling is their spirits are going to make sure that the person who did this, the person in question, is caught and brought to justice. That's what I just picked up.
Okay. All right, gang. That's it for today. And we'll see you soon.